Mariners president of baseball operations, Jerry Dipoto, joins us now. Jerry, great to see you. How are you?
Pretty good, Steve. I can't complain. Good weekend for us, you know?
Yeah, it certainly was, right? Getting a sweep. But so let me ask you about this. Logan Gilbert coming back into the rotation tonight. How important is he to your team?
I mean, he's your opening day guy. It's the front of the rotation, all-star starter. And, you know, when he throws tonight, it'll be as close as we've been all year long to having the full complement of our starting rotation together. And still haven't gone one time through the rotation with our 5 starters. So it's been pretty remarkable that to this point, battling through being without Logan, without George, without Bryce Miller for lengths of time that we've managed to hang in there. But our group is really looking forward to getting Logan back.
Well, you got Logan back and George back, but Bryce Miller is on the injury list for the second time this season with elbow inflammation. What's the outlook look like for him for the rest of the year?
You know, it's going to be about 4 to 6 weeks until we really have a good gauge on that. And we're hoping that he's responsive to the treatments this time. You know, obviously last time it didn't go great. And, you know, we really just want to do the right thing by Bryce. We've done a very good job, I think, as an organization of maintaining pitcher health over the years. And then this year it's all coming back on us. And the priority is just making sure that these guys are healthy for the long haul.
Cal Raleigh, your catcher, an incredible start to this season. He's one of the best pitch framers in the game. Pitchers love throwing to him. He's kind of already outperforming the contract you signed him to earlier this year. What does he mean to your team?
I mean, I don't even know if you could put words to it. He's a leader. He is a phenomenal player who I think the world is just kind of catching on to. He's the best defensive catcher in the league. He's proving to be one of the best sluggers in the league. He has been a phenomenal force in the middle of our lineup. And, you know, during the time, you know, first 6 weeks of the season, when our offense was really clicking, Cal was there every night, picking up the runs, doing the big things that make, you know, crooked numbers on the scoreboard. And during the time of the season here in these last 3 or 4 weeks, when our offense has gone quiet, he's the one who comes up with a big hit that kind of gets something done. And he's a leader. He's very involved in the community. He's awesome in the clubhouse. He believes in what we do organizationally. And I really think that if you invest in players like we have in the core of this team, grow them from the minor leagues, promote them to the big leagues, they learn how to play and love playing with one another. Cal kind of embodies all of those things for us.
You know, I think back, I had Mike Piazza as my catcher back in the day with the Mets, who was that offensive force in the middle of the lineup, the big run producer and a clutch player. Cal has that, but he also is an outstanding defender, which has taken his game to a whole nother level. So let me ask you about Julio Rodriguez. He's cut down his strikeout rate, which we love, right? But it's come at a cost of hitting the ball hard, the slugging. Do you like the trade-off for him?
You know, I mean, part of it is just the evolution of Julio. He wants to be a complete hitter. And every year he tries to pick up something new that he hadn't done before. He's playing his 24-year-old season. You know, I said this before, our expectations of Julio are sky high for a reason. You know, he's got amazing tools. He's a hard worker. He shows up. He does big things. I think as we enter this season, into his 24-year-old season, he's one of the 10 highest WAR players among center fielders in history through the age of 24. And he's trying to figure out who he is. He doesn't want to just be a power hitter. He wants to be a better hitter. He wants to reduce the strikeouts. Like periodically through this season, we've seen higher walk rates than, you know, lower. But one thing that's been pretty standard with Julio, July, August, and September are the months where he really rolls, and that's when you see the power. And I think we'll see it again. He's on pace for a 30-homer, 5.5 win season. So it's tough to complain about what he's not doing, and you just really look forward to what the end product looks like for him.
You know, it's interesting. Julio's trying to figure out who he is. And as a general manager, president of operations, our job is to figure out who we are as a team and what we need. Where do we need to improve as we get deeper and closer to the trade deadline? Who are the Seattle Mariners right now?
You know, we've had really two extreme portions of our season. For about 6 weeks, we were really scoring runs like we've not before, at least in my time with the Mariners. And we were up and down 1 through 9 in the lineup, really productive. But historically, we rely on our pitching, and that's who we are. I think that's our personality. Our identity is pick up the ground balls, be accurate with our throws, don't make mistakes that beat you and your pitching drowns your opponent. And tonight starts that over with Logan back in the mix, and hopefully we are on track to start doing the things that we do. The atypical part of our season so far has been that we've not been driven by our pitching. So, I think as we get into this stretch between, today and the trade deadline, it's establishing what we do as a pitching staff, being a little more Mariner-like in what we're doing there. And I think our offense has really improved, and we'll get into the next hot streak as we come, through out of a good weekend for our offensive club, and really a good 10 days for our hitters. We have to be better at converting runs, which is about being consistent. And that's a personality trait that every team would like to have.
Did you have any thoughts of maybe a guy who's the third baseman, who's not great defensively at third, that doesn't really want to play first, but is a really good left-handed hitting DH? Any thoughts of a guy like that might fitting the Mariners in the last few days?
Sure. And it wouldn't even naturally be limited to the last few days. But, players like that, they tend to go other places sometimes.
Yeah. What did you make of the Devers trade and that big news breaking yesterday?
Well, I have to be honest, I was thrilled because we play the Red Sox for 3 starting tonight.
Right.
And, we don't have to face Rafi, who has historically been very good against us and in our ballpark. So phenomenal hitter. He's still very young. He does wonderful things. It was an unusual timing. It's just simply where we are in the baseball calendar. You typically don't see big trades like that. But I think the Red Sox saw an opportunity, and so did the Giants. That's how trades are made, and my guess is that we will find out in the next couple of days, how much different the Sox pitching staff looks, which is the unkind part of this deal for us.
Well, if anybody knows how trades get done, it's you, because you are as much of a trader as anybody in the game today. Thank you so much for giving us time this afternoon.
You got it, Steve. Appreciate it.